Hi, I'm Sharon Sneer, and today we're going to talk about the inner child. I think that many of you have heard of the inner child, but perhaps you haven't actually experienced some of the work that can be done to address, to connect with, to embrace the inner child. So that's what we're going to do today. And as well as that, in this very short course, we're going to do a meditation that will give you the opportunity to do exactly what I've described. So the inner child. Lucia Capacchione says that the inner child is a powerful presence. It dwells at the core of our being. Just for a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and imagine a healthy toddler. So close your eyes. And as you picture this child in your mind's eye, sense its aliveness. With great enthusiasm, it constantly explores the environment. Allow yourself to really connect with this child. It knows its feelings and expresses them openly. When it's hurt, it cries. And when it's angry, it screams, and when it's happy, it smiles and laughs from deep down inside. So see that in your mind's eye now. The child is also highly sensitive and instinctual. It knows who to trust and who not to trust. This little child knows how to play and discover. Every moment is new and full of wonder. And from this playfulness comes an inexhaustible well of playfulness and aliveness. Now when you're ready, open your eyes. As time goes on, this child, this inner child within us, runs headlong into the demands of the adult world. The voice of grown-ups with their own needs and wants begin to drown out the inner voice, the feelings, the instincts of the child. In fact, parents and teachers say, in not so many words, don't trust yourself. Don't feel your feelings. Don't say this. Don't say that. Don't express yourself in this way. Do as we say because we know best. We're adults. We're going to talk more about this in a few moments, but look into your life for a moment and see, is that a way that you might have experienced adults in your childhood? May not have been your parents, may have been your teachers, an older cousin, an aunt, but was there anyone that tried to control your natural instincts? With time, these qualities, these very qualities that give the child his or her aliveness, curiosity, spontaneity, and ability to feel, are forced into hiding. In the process of raising and disciplining and educating children, adults often turn the child into a predictable adult by eradicating the child's vocabulary along with the child's control. They severely damage the essential self of the child. The baby, in a way, is thrown out with the bathwater. The adult world is simply not safe for some children. For survival's sake, the growing youngster sends its delightful child spirit underground and locks it away. But that inner child never grows up and never goes away. It remains buried alive, waiting to be set free. The inner child is constantly trying to get our attention. But many of us have forgotten how to listen. When we ignore our true feelings and our gut instincts, we ignore our inner child. When we fail to nurture our body and soul, we neglect the child within. When we talk ourselves out of childlike things, when we make excuses, when we try to be so rational, not practical, when we say things to ourselves that that's not an adult thing to do, we are abandoning our inner child. For instance, we may feel an impulse to skip with joy. I mean, I see children skip with joy all the time, but how often do we do that? We may stop ourselves from crying uninhibitedly over the loss of a friend. But we don't allow ourselves to do these things that we want to do because we have this inner critic that is actually an adult from our past telling us it's not acceptable. The inner child, our inner child, wants to come out, but when the serious grown-up inside us says, no, you can't, big boys don't cry, or nice girls don't fight, or you have to be in control all the time, the inner child gets locked in the closet or behind closed doors. When our inner child is blocked, we are robbed of our natural spontaneity and our zest for life. And over the time, this may lead to low energy, chronic illness, serious disease. When our inner child is hidden, we also feel separate from others. Our inner child never gets to express its feelings and wishes. Our friends never really get to see who we are if we're putting a lid on our inner child. We never really get to know ourselves, and friends, family, lovers, they never really get to know us. So for us to be fully human, the child within needs to be embraced and expressed. So how do we know when the inner child is present? The inner child is our emotional self. It's where our feelings live. It's where you experience joy, sadness, anger, fear, affection. It's where our true feelings really lie. Your child within is also being active when you're being playful and spontaneous, when you're being creative and intuitive, when you're surrendering to your spiritual self. You are in touch with your spiritual child. Carl Jung called the child the divine child, the inner child, the divine child, and Emmett Fox called it the wonder child. Some psychotherapists have called it our true self. Charles Whitfield, for example, called it the child within. The inner child refers to that part of each of us which is ultimately alive. In this short online workshop, we're going to do some drawing and writing and some meditation. We're going to connect with our inner child and discover some of its needs and wishes. We're also going to learn to activate the loving parent within you, who can nurture and protect your own inner child. For no child exists in a vacuum. The inner child will automatically draw out a positive and supportive inner parent, or it will automatically draw out a negligent parent, a critical one. And without awareness, we automatically repeat the kind of parenting that we received as children. We parent the way we were parented. However, if we don't like the way we were parented, we do have a choice. We can change, we can create a loving connection between the members of our own inner family and heal the wounds of our childhood. We can reparent ourselves.